Welcome to your favorite Tennessee Titans podcast, Tennessee Titans Weekly. Jacques,
Halt!
Jacques,
Halt!
what's up, folks? What is going on? Good morning, good evening, whatever time it is your way. What's up, folks? We got to talk Cam Ward, but first of all, shout out to everybody watching this on Bleacher Report. If you're watching this or listening to us on any other platform, it won't show live. But you can put down comments and those things. But here on Bleacher Report, we are live on Bleacher Report. Shout out to Bleacher Report as well for the opportunity. Jacques, what's good with you, brother?
And I can't call it, man. Hey, we in hump day as they call it. So we almost to the weekend. So
Yeah,
like you said, getting to a lot of this talk after the draft, man. It's heating up like a stove, man. It's getting going. And then we only got 50 days to the draft, so it's coming. It's coming. It's inching closer. The anticipation is getting there. The rumors, there's a lot going on, man, and a lot of this speculation on a lot of stuff. So
that's right, bro. That's right. So, folks, we've talked a lot about the draft. And the good thing about the Tennessee Titans right now, and what has got us and our show as well, a lot of pub right now, is the fact that we have the number one pick in the draft. So that's going to cause a lot of conversation, as it should. The Tennessee Titans will finish the season, the worst record in the league. And as a result, we control the narrative. We control the draft. We're literally got fish bait out like right here for everybody. Like, okay, it's on us. It's whatever we want to do. If you want to, do what you can or whatever, but we're holding for it. Or if we trade, we got to trade a lot to get to the top pick. So, so looking at it as well over the last several months, especially since October, Jacques and I both have been speaking a lot about who the Titans should draft. And, even at that time, we didn't have the first pick until the very last game of the season. And that's when we figured out we had the number one pick. And at the end of the day, we was like, man, we need a quarterback. And we do feel that the quarterback room that the Tennessee Titans have is the worst quarterback room in the league. There's other teams that have bad quarterbacks, but our quarterback room is terrible. So, in saying that, and everyone doesn't agree, and that's okay. Everybody's subject to their opinion, and I understand even those opinions. Some opinions I'm like, even if they don't agree, I get it, because the Titans, we suck. We're a terrible organization. We don't have a lot of talent on our roster. We got a lot of holes everywhere, not just in one spot, everywhere. But something Jacques and I have discussed a lot is at the number one pick in the draft is drafting a quarterback. And as well, Jacques and I have also both said Cam Ward. Now, we're not feeding off each other on this because I didn't know who he wanted to pick. Same for me when we talked about this in October. And we did say our mind could change throughout the process, right? Mm-hmm. Hasn't been the case. We have said the entire time since October 30th, check the receipts on our YouTube page. Cam Ward is who we want. So, for those that are out there that are watching the show, if you agree with that, put that down in the comment section, put that in the live chat. But that's where we are. So, speaking of Cam Ward, Jacques, the name of this show today is Cam Ward Worth the number one pick. And so, is a lot of folks out there saying that, he should be number one, number two, not as high or whatever. We have the number one pick. So, Jacques, I'm asking you, as not only a Tennessee Titans fan, a Tennessee Titans lead podcaster, a Tennessee Titans, I'm asking you as if you were the GM, even the head coach, Brian Callahan. Is Cam Ward worthy of the number one pick?
Yes. Yes, he is. You're hearing a lot of mock drafts. You heard it from the combine that he came away and he's impressed a lot of teams. And that's why I think it's why a lot of teams are trying to clamor up to get him. But yes, like you said, we've been talking about this since October, man, where I've seen a lot of Cam Ward games. You've seen a lot of Cam Ward games, a lot of film, a lot of tape. I went back and watched his Washington tape film. Cam Ward has what you call the it factor. Now, it's the jury is still out on it, right? It's the draft. We don't know. But he has certain elements that you really can't teach, if that makes sense, and elements that you can't really get with all quarterbacks, right? And so with him, yes, he's going to be the number one pick. We just don't know by who. If it is by us, yes, I hope. I'm praying. I'm hoping. But yes, he is worth the number one pick. I hope. I mean,
yeah.
What about you, Hawk? Do you think he's worth the number one pick?
So I look at it like this, Jacques. There's certain things that need to take place. One is the need of the team. And the Tennessee Titans clearly need a quarterback. That's one. Secondly, when you think of the number one pick, there's not many positions in football that deserve to be the number one pick in the draft. Quarterback being one of them. That's number two. Number three, you have to look at who's available. And you got to look at free agents. You got to look at the whole pot. When I look at the free agents that are out there, there are not a lot of good free agents out there at quarterback. And those that are available, they're probably going to be overpaid, right? This is going to be like the Daniel Jones Tua factor where you probably pay him $30-40 million and regret it down the road. That's number three. Number four, you look at over the last several years, there's been a lot of success with young quarterbacks. Not only that, quarterbacks within their rookie contract. So what happens with that? You get to sign a lot more people instead of tying yourself to a quarterback, a free agent quarterback that's not even proven. So we can talk about Sam Darnold. We can talk about, quarterbacks that's out, that's available. But you're tying $30-40 million to a guy that's we don't know. So because you have these four factors, I think it's an easy decision to draft Cam Ward. I think it's an easy decision. You look at the quarterbacks that's in the draft. You look at Cam Ward. You look at Shedeur Sanders. You look at Jackson Dart. You look at all these quarterbacks that are in the draft. And one, it's not many. Secondly, there's none that's really worthy the number one pick, except I think Cam Ward should do it possibly. I'm going to say that Cam Ward should be the number one pick in this draft. And I say you hold fort because the Tennessee Titans don't have a quarterback. If we had a quarterback, let's have a different conversation. Then I might tell you we need to get a defensive end here, right? That's either that or left tackle. But there's not a left tackle out there that we need. We don't need a left tackle. We got J.C. Latham. Cam Ward is worthy of the number one pick. Draft Cam Ward. You have people that are saying that Cam Ward is worthy of number one and number two for all these other teams. If they trade up, screw that. Draft Cam Ward today. Draft him now. We need a quarterback. He's available. Draft him. Rookie contract, 3 years. Build on your team. Draft Cam Ward. Simple as that.
Got it. Now, with that saying, since we're saying he's worth the overall number one pick, why should we draft him at number one? And I think you just elaborated on it, but go deeper.
So I'll tell you this, man. There's certain things that Cam Ward brings to the field that is unique. One, Cam Ward is a guy that is a winner. He has won in all the places he went. He started at Incarnate Word, and then he also went to Washington State. And he's won in all of those programs and went to Miami and made Miami, whose defenses was one of the worst defenses in the nation, literally ranked one of the worst in the nation, and had them to almost go to the playoffs. And not just that, Cam Ward is a hell of a ball player. He's got the it factor, as you mentioned. We need a quarterback, and we have a new stadium to fill out. We don't have a quarterback at the moment. Cam Ward is a guy that, when you look at how his skills is unique, he doesn't throw a lot of interceptions. When the plays break down, he makes unbelievable plays. Shout out to my boy Brett. He reminds me of a young Steve McNair. I see those things. He has tools that you cannot coach. Those are the quarterbacks. When you look at quarterbacks like Patrick Mahomes, you look at Jaden Daniels, you look at even Jalen Hurts, you look at guys that can make things happen instead of just throwing the football. That's what he can do. And so I really think it's a no-brainer. You go Cam Ward here, man. So, Jacques, I'm going to ask you that same question. Why should we draft Miami quarterback Cam Ward?
Well, just to add to it, I mean, you said it the best, man. Again, he has the poise and the it factor. And a lot of those games that Miami lost wasn't on him, right? So if you go back and look at film, a lot of them games wasn't his fault. I know a lot of people, some people, not a lot, but there was somebody that mentioned the Syracuse game. He's like, well, he was. And I said, did you even watch the Syracuse game? The Joker showed out, man. So I think what impressed me the most about him was his interview at the draft where he said that, hey, I've been paying attention to the Tennessee Titans offense. I know you guys run this particular scheme set. I know you run this route combination. You can plug and play me day one, and I'm in there, right? So his confidence, too. And he's not in a confidence in a way where you can tell he works hard for what he has to get because he was a zero-star recruit coming out of high school, man. He had to get it out the mud, so his mentality is different, right? Not saying not on knock on Shedeur or anything because I like Shedeur also, but when it comes to Cam, man, hey, Titans, if you want to change the trajectory of your franchise, and if you want to change it to where you are in the conversations of quarterbacks, you want to get talked about, this is the time to do it. So yes, the Titans indeed should draft him, man, and those are my points of why we should draft him and everything like that. So.
Facts, no paper. Shout out to everybody as well that's watching and listening to the show wherever you might be. So, Jacques, I do have a question about Cam Ward as well.
Mhm.
So, this show, we're really going to talk as to why we really feel Cam Ward should be the guy that we draft here. So, say if we actually do draft Cam Ward, say if we do that. So, if we draft Cam Ward,
Mhm.
and we got that poll question out there, by the way, should we still sign a free agent quarterback?
Ooh, great question. Yes, for competition, I guess, if they say the least. But the free agent class of quarterbacks is not that good, so I wouldn't break the bank on it. You might get a Gardner Minshew, Sam Darnold. I know he's working on. He didn't sign the franchise tag, but they're saying he's working on a deal. So I can imagine the Vikings are not going to let him walk out the building, because he's a good mentor to McCaffrey that's sitting on the bench right now and is rehabbing. So you don't even know his rehab time frame. So I wouldn't even look at Sam Darnold. But if you're looking at a quarterback, yeah, sign one, because they were talking about Mason Rudolph, potentially bringing him back. But sign him. But it's going to be a crowded quarterback room because you're going to have a three-way competition, right? So yeah, go ahead, sign one. Why not? See what you can do. See if you can bring some type of competition, some type of mentorship, if that, and then just leave it at that. Do you think we should sign one?
No, I don't. I don't think we should sign a quarterback. And I say that because of how the quarterback system is in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
The quarterback system is a 3-quarterback system league. So when you put a third quarterback out there, right, you're putting them out there for bait. You're putting them out there as a deer in a jungle full of lions, right? Meaning any team could pick them up. That's only if you pick a free agent, some lowly free agent, but why would you do that, right? And so I think, man, when I look at Will Levis, you got a guy that knows the system. It's his third year with the Titans. Will Levis is an NFL quarterback. Is he a starting franchise quarterback? No, but he is an NFL quarterback, probably best as a really good backup quarterback. But I think you bring Will Levis back. Mason Rudolph, we'll see. If you need 3 quarterbacks, why not bring him back? Why not? And again, if we put him out there, somebody might pick him up, somebody get hurt, and it is what it is. But I think you bring those 2 back and you bring in Cam Ward. And I think starting the season, unless in the preseason or something happens where Will is just terrible, I think early you might want to start Will Levis early and then let it play out, right? And it gives Cam enough time to, to learn the offense and those things and to get comfortable in the offense and those things, to understand everything. But the positive of Will Levis is that he understands the offense. I think the only byproduct of this, if we do sign one, is if you trade Will Levis. But Will Levis contractually still there, but what are you going to get for him? A 5th-round pick, maybe, at best? Maybe a 6th? I'm going to say 5th because he's a quarterback. And do we want to invest a 5th-round pick for him? I don't know. Maybe not this year, maybe next year. I say you got a quarterback that knows the system. You might as well keep him. If you bring in a free agent, I don't really think these teams are going to be up to just putting quarterbacks out there, like just go out there. Maybe you see Sam Darnold, but I understand the Vikings. The Vikings like, look, we drafted McCarthy last year. We can get the same production out of him at a rookie contract compared to paying you $40 million. We're going to do that because Minnesota got holes too, right? And they didn't go far in the playoffs. They lost the first round. So I say no. I think we're going to keep the guys we have, draft the quarterback. And I may be wrong, but that's what I think.
All right. And I just the typical Titans, you just never know with these jokers.
Yep.
So we've been hearing things. Hypothetically speaking, well, not hypothetically, it's a realistic possibility.
Yeah.
What should the Titans do if we don't draft Cam Ward?
So I think if we do not draft Cam Ward at the first pick, then I'm thinking, because we need a quarterback, I'm thinking they think Shedeur is the best option. So I think you draft a quarterback at that spot. But it's on Barganzi, it's on Brian Callahan. If they feel Shedeur is the better prospect, you draft Shedeur Sanders. That's what you do. But if they feel he is not, if they feel he's not the right pick, you trade the pick. You trade the pick and you get more players. And if you can trade down and still get Cam Ward, which it doesn't look like that's going to be the case, if you maybe, because these teams that are trying to jump up, it seems as if they're trying to draft Cam Ward. So that's what I'm saying. It's like these draft analysts are saying all these teams want Cam Ward. We're there, number 1, draft them. That doesn't make any sense. That's ridiculous to me. So I think you trade if they don't. I think they should trade the pick. And I'd say trade down and get more picks. We need more. I'd like to get 2 first-round picks and definitely would like to get an extra third. You know what I'm saying? I'd like to get more picks for sure. And a pick for next year. Can we get a first round next? If we got a first round this year, a third this year, and a first next year, if you don't pick Cam Ward, do that. So that's my answer, man. What about you, Jacques?
I mean, again, we need a quarter. Shador. I was thinking. That's what I was thinking when this question was posed. You still got Shador out there, and what they're saying is Shador's stock is slipping. Okay, cool. If his stock is slipping, if you keep hearing things, if you trade swap with the Giants, all right, cool. Still get you a quarterback. Yeah. I'm with you, man. If we're trading down, don't not trade down for pennies. Trade down again. I want your first from next. I want your first round pick next year. I want your second round pick this year. I want your third round pick this year. I want your third round pick next year, and maybe even a fourth in 2027 or a second in 2020. I want the house, okay? Because if I'm doing this and I'm moving down, hey, it better be worth the haul, right? It better be worth the squeeze. And again, let's see what we do. But to go back to your other point, there are analysts out there that are saying that I think that's starting to change their tune, if that makes sense. And some analysts, I don't know if it was Charles Davis or it was one of those analysts that was like, hey, the Titans should stay here and pick them at number 1. But again, like I think I've told you this, they don't trust the Titans. They don't trust the Titans to do stuff like this. So if they happen not to pick Cam, your second option is to do not trade down past 4, if that, right? Do not trade past. Please don't do that. Do not trade down past 4. Get you a haul of draft picks and still get your quarterback. And that should do a Sanders. Go ahead and pull that trigger on him, right? And then what you'll do is you have a slew of draft picks to add to what you have with Sanders, and then you go from there. So that's my thought on it.
For sure. Okay. All right, Jacques. Okay. So facts, no paper, by the way, as always. So Jacques, I do have another question as far as for Cam Ward in this regard. So you personally, knowing the Titans, been fans since day one, since the day they came to Nashville. Knowing our roster and what we have right now, knowing our history and those things, how would you feel? And those in the comment section as well. Hey, we have a poll question out there. How would you feel if we did not draft Cam Ward, pick 1?
I think I mentioned this in our last show or our chop-up show that I'm trying to train my emotions to where the Titans are going to do something stupid regardless. This is this organization. It's built in our DNA. It's built in our blood, and it's not per se the logos or the shield's fault. When I say the shield, the Titans logo that you got on your head, it's the parties that's come through the door and left through the back door. We've done this with AJ Brown. We've done this on several occasions, right? The Super Bowl. So if we don't draft Cam Ward, would I be upset? Yeah, a little bit. But also, would I not be surprised? No, I wouldn't. It'll be like, okay, hey, the plan that y'all have, okay, let's go with it. But at the same time, my trust, I think that's what will be gone, okay? The trust is hanging on by a thread right now, okay? Okay, this is the trust factor. If they do that, I'm not going to get emotional. I'm not going to turn up. I'm not going to do none of that. Matter of fact, I'm just going to take this string. I'm going to put it on the floor. I'm going to say, okay, hey, we know the outcome. You go get a dual Carter. You go get a Travis Hunter. You go whatever you do with the pick. I don't even trust them to get if we do get multiple picks or we trade. That's not even a guarantee they'll get that right? That's not a guarantee that they'll come in and perform like that. So at this point, you're just telling me, hey, we're okay with being mediocre. Hey, we're okay. We continue to be the laughingstock of the league. Hey, we're okay with being the stupidest team in the league. One of the stupidest teams in the league. So you'll continue to be talked about like you're a stupid team sitting in a corner. And at that point, I can't defend you no more, right? I can't defend you no more. I've defended the Titans all my life since I've been a fan of them. And I've defended them even when they're wrong. I've defended them. We've been realistic. We have. But at this point, it's like having an ex-girlfriend. I can't do it no more. It's like a relationship. I can't do this no more, right? I'm always going to bleed blue, but my emotions will be gone. And it'd almost be like, okay, wait and see. Let's see what happens. And if we start losing games next year, what can I do, right? What can I do, right? You still have to sell tickets. You still have to stadium. You have to sell out. I've already bought mine. It kind of is what it is. Until y'all eventually get it right. I don't know if that's 2030. I don't know if that's 2040. I don't know if it's in the future. I don't know if it's when I'm gone. I don't know, right? But whenever they feel the need to get it right, get it right. How would you feel, Hulk?
So if we do not draft Cam Ward pick 1, that first moment when it happens, the Tennessee Titans selects whoever, or the Tennessee Titans have made a trade. Whatever happens, and Cam Ward is not the guy, at that moment, I will be pissed off. I will be pissed off, eyes fiery red, because we have an opportunity to draft a quarterback. This is not a situation where we're pick 6. Like, we got to wait for everybody to do this or trade up and give away the farm to get a quarterback. We have an opportunity to do that right now. And for those that be like, well, let's wait till next year, still a risk. It's always a risk. It's a risk drafting Cam Ward. I'm not sitting there acting like he's a Hall of Famer. He's going to be the best quarterback ever. I'm not saying that. I'm saying I think he's talented enough to be picked number 1 in this draft. So I am saying I think early I will be pissed off. Now, because we're lifelong fans, we work here. Hey, we work with the Titans here. So I'm saying, I'd have to see over a period of time. So my anger level can actually increase over time. Okay. So if he ends up being an incredible ball player and the trades that we made didn't work out, I'm going to be more pissed. I'm going to say, fire Callahan on the spot, fire Barganzi on the spot. If that turns out to be the case, if Cam Ward balls out, and I'm not saying it's rookie year. Is a rookie. I doubt that anybody. That's rare. I'm just saying, if like Caleb Williams, people try to criticize. Caleb Williams had a good rookie season. He's gonna get better. He's gonna get. Bryce Young didn't have a good rookie season, but he got better his second year. So if I see that type of play from Cam Ward, from like them, and I see the guys we traded for don't do well, I'm gonna be more upset. Now, I can smile on this too, Shop, because again, it's on Barganzi, it's on Callahan. You and I, we're not scouts. We don't see behind the scenes. We see film and those things. We hear them talk. They should know. That's why they get paid. So I am saying is if we don't, and he's not good, and whoever we traded for does great, then I'll smile and say, hey, you guys knew what y'all was talking about. I was wrong. You all knew it. I'll walk away. Good stuff. Tennessee Titans, do your thing. So the anger point would be to anger 4 level. It can go to 10, or it can go all the way back down to 0. Based on the initial pissed off, later on depends on what happens. That's how
I'm gonna add to that. So we also don't know who's making the final decision. Yeah, Callahan's on the hook, but I also, the way Callahan, and this is why I've been paying attention to him. The way he's been talking, you can kind of tell he wants a quarterback as well.
Yep.
Berganzi is probably leaning towards that, but do I trust him? I don't know, dude. Right? I don't know him. I'd have no idea how he operates, what triggers he's going to pull, what he's going to do. It's Brinker that my trust is really in the balance with, right? Yeah. Because
fire him too.
They say, okay, he's the last say so in the room. Okay, cool. Well, what if he feels a certain way? How can Callahan argue his point, right? How much pull does Callahan really have? So at the end of the day, Callahan is coaching for his job and his livelihood. It's like, hey man, I'm beating on the table for either him or him. I need a quarterback. How am I supposed to be successful with Mayo boy over here? And I couldn't be successful with him last year, right? Now they can come back and say, well, you're a quarterback whisperer. Well, I can be a quarterback whisperer, but I can't be a quarterback whisperer to somebody that don't want to whisper back. Okay. It just is what it is.
Right.
So I think with that, I would put the onus on Brinker and Berganzi because they're the ones that's making this decision. I think Callahan wants to succeed, but I just don't think he has enough oomph to go in there and beat the table. And if this was Vrabel tried to beat the table on several things, right? It just didn't work. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So and I think that's why they clamor for more power. Like, hey, I need power. I need this. I need that. So
right. Okay. Gotcha, bro. Gotcha. Yeah. All right, y'all. Well, listen. We are at the live chop up, man. We'll go a few more minutes here. We'll put the questions out there. All we ask y'all to do, throw your question out there. We'll post it on here as well. If you're watching us on any other visual podcast, it's not live. If you're listening to us on audio, of course, man, hey, just rock with us as we'll ask the question, we'll answer it.
Okay.
What up,
so
Jordan?
what-
3288.
he says, I think they should maybe take a
flyer.
flyer on Jackson Dart in the second if he's available, if they trade the first overall pick. Now, the thing about Jackson Dart, whoever his agent is cold because Jackson Dart is going in the first round, no matter what. Okay.
Mhm.
I just think that what he's been able to do at the Senior Bowl helped him, and what he did at the Combine helped him. So now, if you want Jackson Dart, you better pull the trigger early because he's not going to be there in the second round. And we've had that experience, Jordan. We've had that experience twice, the third round and the second round. And to me, only second round quarterback that probably has really panned out is Jalen Hurts, and he's not Jalen Hurts. Okay, and I just think instead of always thinking in a box, it's time for the Titans to kind of open that box and expand that box and figure something else out besides doing the same thing that we've been doing for like 25, 26, 27 years.
Right. I feel it. I feel that, Jacques. And to your point, I agree with you as far as the way the marketing is going on for Jackson Dart. But the positives for Jackson Dart, I got to give him credit. He's out there putting in work. He's out, he's making himself, he's putting himself out there. The risk of him putting himself out there, he could be terrible, and we could evaluate him and be like, nah, he ain't it. But he's been the best quarterback that's been out there in the Senior Bowl and in the Combine, at least from what's been evaluated, at least from what we've seen. And then Jackson Dart was the best quarterback in the SEC. He was fourth in the nation in yards. So he has stats behind that too. So I don't think Jackson Dart's going in the second round. It's the key, all that I keep saying. It's not so much the talent. It's about need. These teams need quarterbacks. So at times you could overdraft a player, and it's happened every year. Quarterback is always a hit or miss. There's never just every quarterback gets drafted. Everyone is a hit. It's always a hit or miss because quarterback is the hardest position to play in sports. Maybe pitcher in baseball. Quarterback is the hardest position to play in sports. So there's so many teams that need quarterbacks. They are fishing for quarterbacks. So that's going to help Jackson Dart and help the other quarterbacks that might not be fit. They might be 6th-round picks. They might get drafted in the 4th. That's what happens. There might be people that say Cam or Shador in other drafts might not be number 1 or number 2, but teams need quarterbacks. That's where we're at. So, I don't see Jackson going in the second. I do see somebody. I saw something today, Jacques. I don't know if you saw this. I sent it to you, by the way, from Charles Davis, who does the Titans games as well. Shout out to Charles Davis. He had Shador going number 1 to us.
Yes,
Cam going to number 2, and Jackson Dart going number 3. At first, I was like, I don't know about that, but I was like, dude, that kind of makes sense because these of the 3 teams that don't need a quarterback is the Cleveland Browns. Right. The Giants need a quarterback. We need a quarterback. So,
which I think the Browns are trying to get rid of that contract. So I just think even with them, they don't want to have nothing to do with Deshaun Watson. Now, again, like you said, it's risky. It's very risky. We well, not us. They do this all the time, like you said, with these quarterback needy teams, and it either gets you paid or it gets you fired. And I always look at Zach Wilson, Will Levis, certain quarterbacks, which if you have a keen eye for it, you'd be like, okay, he might be a system. He might be decent. He might be okay. It just depends on the system and the opportunity that he goes. That's why I would say with Jackson Dart, if he went to a team that was already established and already kind of has a quarterback, he can kind of sit back and just chill like Brock Purdy kind of did, right? You can just sit back and chill, learn the system. You always have weapons around you. But if you're building a team from scratch and building it up, don't throw that young man in the fire like that, if that makes sense, right? So if he got drafted to the Giants, at least he has a good number 1 receiver. He just certain things that he'll have to work through, but at least he has that. Whoever gets drafted to the Giants has that, right?
Right. And a decent running back in Tracy. He's pretty good running back.
And a decent running back. Exactly. So, I mean, it depends on your system. You can coach them up and do what you got to do. So,
Facts. No paper. So, So we'll go one more. We'll go one more. Let's see. So, Jacques, I'll ask this one. I'll ask this last question. So we talk a lot about Cam Ward. So say if we don't draft Cam Ward, say we just don't, and say the Titans don't want a quarterback, say they don't want to draft Shador Sanders. If we do decide to pick a player at that spot, whether it be Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter, who would you want that player to be if they made a decision on somebody to draft?
Give me Travis. Give me the Heisman Trophy winner. Give me Travis. Gotcha. And I know it's not a quote unquote need, but he's a dual threat player. He's a dual player, right? I can do a lot more with him. Now, Abdul would be a if the dual medical didn't come back kind of I would have said Carter. But give me Travis. He's dynamic. He's won the Heisman Trophy. You can plug and play him day one. He'll shut that side of the field down, so you do not have to worry about nothing on that side of the field. So it helps your pass rush, right? It helps it in a lot of ways. So give me Travis. What about you?
L'Jarius Sneed is the reason I'm saying Travis Hunter. It's because of L'Jarius Sneed. I would say Abdul Carter. But I think the advantage that Travis Hunter has over Abdul Carter is, to your point, he plays two positions at a very high level. And he's had a lot more success, and he's been on the field a lot longer at his position. Abdul Carter is his first year defensive end. Now, don't get me wrong, Abdul Carter's a beast out there. But, I just think you can do more with Hunter. But I do think it's close. I think it's close because defensive end, that's a premium position. And Harold Landry's going to be gone. So you have him. But on the other side of it, I'm looking at the rest of the draft. There are other defensive ends that could be drafted in the second round that might give you the same type of productivity. I don't think there's many corners that's as good as Travis Hunter. You got Will Johnson from Michigan, and that's about it. You know what I mean? So
I agree.
Yeah, man.
I agree.
So,
facts, no paper.
Cool. Well, listen, folks, look, we want to say thank you all for watching the show, y'all. Thank you as well here at Bleacher Report. Shout out as well. As always, if you have not hit the like button or hit that fire button, man, on this show, man, do that today. Follow me at Lorenzo_the Hawk. You can follow Jacques as well at Jacques Merrill. We're at Tennessee Titans Weekly on YouTube. Subscribe to that as well. Of course, the video will be there as well. You can also follow us on Instagram at Tennessee Titans Weekly. We put content on there. We got content on TikTok at Tennessee Titans Weekly. We're on Twitter at Titans Weekly 24/7. We're on Apple. We're on Spotify. We're everywhere, folks.
Yeah, and when you do follow those platforms, please hit the share button, like those platforms as well. And again, thank you, Bleacher Report, for giving us this opportunity. Thank y'all for watching the show and participating. And hey, Hulk, go ahead and take us home, brother.
All right. So, Tennessee Titans, draft cam award, please. Draft cam. Be done with it. It's not that complicated, like Jacques said in our in the show that we just did 2 days ago. It's not that complicated. It's not rocket science. Draft cam award. All right. As we always say and as we always do, Jacques. Facts.
No paper.